In this lesson, we're going to learn how to read the value of a resistor using its colored band. So we're talking about through-wall resistors here, and we're going to use this table to determine the value of the resistance and the tolerance. A resistor can have 4 bands or 5 bands code. Let's start with the 4 bands, that is the simplest. So in case of the 4 band, you can notice right away that the bands are split into groups. We have first 3 bands in a group all the way to the left. And then we have another band that is isolated. So the first 3 bands are used to determine the value of the resistance, and the last one will be used to determine the tolerance. So if we start with the first group, the first bands, so all the bands but the last pretty much, they need to be taken at face value. What do I mean here is that you look at this table and you see that green always means 5 and blue always means 6. So because of the 2 first bands, so this will be part of the actual value of the resistance. So we do 5 and 6. The last band of the group, you might be inclined to say, well, the last one is yellow, so the value is 4. So is it the 564 ohm? No, the last one of the group always needs to be used as a multiplier. So in this case, the multiplier is 10 kilo. So the 4 is actually applied to 10 as a power. So what you're basically doing is multiplying by 10 to the power of 4. And what you get out of this is 560 kilo. So that's the value of the resistance. Now the last band, the isolated one, it's gold. That's the most common value that you will, color that you will find for the tolerance. And that means that the tolerance of this resistance is plus minus 5%. So that means that as you buy these components and you put it on the board, the nominal value is 560 kilo, but really the value of the resistance could be anywhere within 560 kilo plus minus 5%. Now, if you look at the 5-band code, this one is exactly the same concept. Even here, you can distinguish the bands between 2 groups. There are 4 bands in a group together and 1 that is isolated. And just as before, for the first group, the first bands has to be taken at face value. So we have red, orange, and violet. So red is 2, orange is 3, and violet is 7. So it's a 2, 3, 7. And then the last band of the first group is the multiplier. So in this case, it's black, so the multiplier is 1 ohm. So in this case, the value of the resistance is actually 237 ohm. And then the last band, which is the one that is isolated, is again the tolerance, which, as you can see here, brown is equivalent to plus minus 1%. So the final value of the resistance is 237 ohm plus minus 1%.